So so guys, make sure you guys join us. Give away that Trace Spectra. Huh. Maybe not that card, but maybe something else. Maybe something else. Maybe a prism box or something like that. All right, guys. So check this out. This your boy Prism God. Can you hear me okay? We didn't even check that. Can you hear me?
When it's just me and you, baby, I can hear you all the way.
Can't hear you. And we're
Huh?
live.
You
And
can't
I
hear
think we're
me?
live. I can't hear you. What's up, Striving for Tens? What's going on? All right, it may be on me. Hold on 1 second. Can you say something now?
Yeah, I can always say something.
Okay, cool. So now we're live to Prism God podcast. Thank you. I apologize for the people out there that are watching and listening on Instagram and YouTube at the same time simultaneously. I appreciate you guys joining in, and I appreciate you guys clicking and subscribing to my channel. Every Wednesday, you guys can join us at 8 p.m., usually on time. We do a live podcast. We usually have a guest on the show. This week, we do not have a guest on the show. Next week, we do have one. It'll be Mike Baker, which is NBA Diamonds, and they're going to talk to us about what they do and how they can help us in the hobby. All we try to do is educate everybody that's going on in the hobby. Striving for Tens. We'll see you this weekend, buddy. Lewis, we'll see you this weekend. Try to show my people on my Instagram page some love, as well as the people that are actually watching us on the YouTube. Eventually, I'm going to make it to where you guys can just watch us on one platform, which will be the website, which is what I've been working on. So hopefully you guys will love the website once it's complete, and then we'll go from there. So without further ado, I got my boy Kobe Collector on here, and are we going to get this thing started?
Yeah, go ahead and hit that play, baby. Hit that play button, man. I know you like to talk, man. I want to see that intro.
Man, I'm sorry, man.
That means
I
we
don't know what
officially
else.
begin every time you hit that intro, man. Don't
I
don't
know,
forget this
man.
time.
I know. Let's go. Today is Wednesday, and it was 8 o'clock, but it's 8:11.
Hey, man, you know what? It was a busy day, man. That's all I can say. I
What's up,
apologize.
Mojo Auto Grabs? What's up? I'm gonna
Yeah,
go back
yeah.
and forth. I'm playing with both my people today. I'm playing with YouTube
Hey,
and I'm playing with Instagram. What's up?
you set me up today. You sent me that faulty link. It's okay though. Hey, I always take it on the chin. I got a big old chin
Man,
right here. I can take it all on there.
man, stop.
You set me up
Sorry.
today. It's okay.
Appreciate it. All right, so shout out to Fire Intro. So I'm actually going to show some love this time. I'm actually going to try something different where we can put the chat overlay on the side where people can actually chat and enter, kind of like we want to see if we want to let them speak their mind at the same time while we're talking. So we kind of got our third guest as being the guests on the show. So I think we're going to do that this time. We're going to let everybody speak their mind in the chat. So if you're joining us on YouTube, on Instagram, through YouTube, click the link in the bio on my Instagram page. You can join in on our chat, and make sure you click and subscribe on the show every week. So I can't just talk to myself or just talk to Kobe Collector or talk to the guests. We want you guys to interact because at the end of the day, we are the hobby that keeps this thing going. So at the end of the day, what has to happen is we need to educate each other and therefore become better at what we're doing. So right now, we have a very, very strong topic. And honestly, I'm glad we didn't get a guest this week.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna have enough time. You want to talk? Yeah, this is a Turkey Wednesday for you, man. I heard it. I heard it this morning when you called me and told me what we're gonna talk about today. I said, "Oh man, Raphael want to talk today. He's been a little quiet these last 2 weeks, letting everybody else talk. I was waiting for the monster to come out."
Man, look, I'm gonna tell you something. Is when we have guests on the show, I typically try to respect the guests. I try to respect you and let you have the floor. But you know, we can't have Prism God TV without Prism God. And at the end of the day, I feel like what I feel like we're trying to do is educate the people, and I just want to make sure everybody is, we're all falling in line here. So. And as we continue to work on being better, I just want to be the best. So today's topic today is Kobe. What's up, Lewis? Thank you for joining us, man. All right, so
What up?
today's
What
topic
up?
is really deep. So, yesterday, last year, 2019, we lost a very,
2020. We're in
I'm sorry,
21 now.
2020. Sorry. Okay, I stand corrected. Okay. Um, we lost a very big person in basketball. And it's a very unique situation, by the way, because typically we don't lose our GOATs. We haven't in basketball because it's a relatively young sport. We've never lost a GOAT at this age, right? So, well, somebody of this iconic, who's as iconic as Kobe Bryant. So I did want to take the time to give respect to Kobe Bryant. And I wanted to talk about a few things, and I wanted to work with you in talking about it. Where were you last year on the day that Kobe Bryant passed, and how did you find out about it? Let me start off with that.
Um, well, I remember I was at my parents' house. We were watching, I think it was a ball game or something, because I think it was a Sunday when it happened. And you get a stream alert that says Kobe Bryant died, right? But I mean, with the media, you always feel like there's a lot of hopes that come around, and you don't know what to believe and what not to believe. And then, so you saw it in one place, you saw it in another. My mother-in-law called me because she knows how big a Kobe Bryant fan I am and was. My son is named after Kobe for a lot of y'all guys that don't know that. So, I mean, when I heard it, I froze, right? And I really didn't want to believe it until I checked this site, that site, that site. And then when ESPN came out and said it, it was like, man, this is really real, right? Because I think the first person that came out with it was TMZ. And I'm like, man, nah, there's no way. There's no way. And honestly, man, I think for
Yeah,
about 2 weeks, man, I was really hurt. I was really
yeah,
hurt by it, man. I mean, and it's like, it's weird, right? Because it's like someone you never met before, but it actually hurt me, man. It was really hurt, man. And for a second there, man, I didn't want to look at any cards after that for a little bit. And it was like, it can't be happening, man. And still at some points, it feels like it's surreal that he's actually gone. But, it is what it is now. And, we got to find a way to move on.
yeah. You're absolutely right about that. And I'm glad. I just remember it was crazy. You're absolutely right. TMZ was the first company to announce that Kobe Bryant had passed. And I was going into a massage parlor with Miss PrizmGawds. We were doing a spa day. And we went up there and we walked. As soon as I walked in the door, I got an alert. Kobe Bryant passed in a helicopter crash. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this can't be real. TMZ never reports real news, right? And I told the guy at the front desk, Kobe Bryant just died. He's like, get the hell out of here. I'm like, no, Kobe Bryant just literally just died. Like, bro, like I wouldn't lie to you. Like, I don't want it to be that way, but it was what it was. And the whole time I remember I talked to Jeremy, which is what's the name of those guys? I forgot. No Limit
No
Sports
limit.
Cards. Yep, No Limit Sports Cards. I was talking to Jeremy. Jeremy called me and was like, Kobe Bryant died, bro. And I was like, oh my God. And I didn't have the foresight to predict what the market was going to do. And I know that wasn't really what I was thinking about at the time, but I was thinking to myself, like, and I felt like everybody in the industry was probably thinking the same thing, but didn't want to say it. Man, I really want to, like, all those times that we felt like we had all this time in the world to go buy a nice Kobe Bryant rookie card. And
Yeah,
like at that moment, it just
that
moved.
was
It just
done.
like, it was gone. And I remember going online trying to buy, I was like, man, for a long time, I wanted a Topps Chrome PSA 10 rookie. And I'm like, man, I'm just going to buy one. And I don't know. I felt like I didn't think about the autographs. I didn't think about any of this other stuff. And I know it's kind of insensitive a little bit, but as a collector side of me, as I'm speaking to that aspect of it, the collector side of me, it just was it was a tough pill to swallow. I just remember literally I did cry that day, and I don't really usually get that emotional, but Kobe Bryant,
Hey,
like, yeah, it was a
you
really,
know what hurt me the most? You know what
yeah,
bent me over the most was, I mean, all the conflicting reports that came out when they said that his whole family died on that helicopter
yeah,
crash,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
And for me, knowing, I'm a father of two girls, and I have my son. That hurt a lot, man. And that baby that just didn't get a chance to live her life, and all the life
correct,
that energy that she had. I mean, to
Yeah,
me, honestly, yes, I'm sad that Kobe died, man, but there was the babies on that plane, man, that actually hurt
I
me
agree.
more than the adults that were on there, because at least they had a chance to live their life. And so for me, it was like that little girl that died. To me, Gianna hurt me more than Kobe passing. After it was all said and done, after all the smoke and all the dust settled, and you
Yeah,
really figured out who died in that plane crash or that helicopter crash, that
yeah,
hurt me more than anything. And
yeah,
so
yeah.
and for me, Kobe, again, childhood idol growing up, I collected them to the fullest. To me, the little girl dying and the other little girl that was on there dying, to me, hurt me more than the adults dying, man. And
I
like I
agree.
said, that that hurt me more than all of that, man. Being a father, myself, and knowing what I
Yeah,
would have went through with my kids passing tragic like that. I mean, that's a hard pill to swallow too.
absolutely. Yeah, at the time when we first found out that Kobe Bryant passed, I guess the world was, I mean, well, the reporters were a little insensitive to neglect to tell us how many people had died. We didn't get the list of people that passed on that chopper until the next day or maybe later on the afternoon. So, I mean, it was insensitive. It was kind of insensitive on, the press to just put out Kobe died and didn't really say, like, because I'm thinking to myself, like, who else passed at the time? And they really didn't say until later on. But I mean, it's a heartbreaking situation. I mean, I would hate to, I mean, Vanessa Bryant, I would hate to lose both my husband, father, friend, and your baby girl,
Yeah,
or even everybody else that passed, in that show. Like, death is not a good situation to handle
nah, for nobody.
for nobody. Like, nobody can tell you that it's easy, right? I lost my brother a couple years ago to, his life was taken away from him, and I deal with that on an everyday basis. So I commend Vanessa Bryant for having to, the strength to be able to continue going every single day, because it takes a lot. And I can only imagine what it's like to lose a child. Can you imagine losing a child?
Nah, I don't even think about it, man.
Man, but
I don't want to think about it, man.
I
Don't get
feel
me
you,
to
man.
cry on this show, man. We haven't
Man,
had one of their moments. Don't do that to me today.
man,
Don't do
but you
that
know
to me
what though?
today.
Like, I mean, and that's why I really felt like I didn't want to do a guest today. I wanted to make me and you, man. You're Kobe collector. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Bulls fan, so Lakers weren't really my cup of tea. I like Shaq. I did like Kobe as a basketball player, but I'm a Bulls fan. I'm from Chicago, so Bulls technically we didn't like anybody that we didn't like the Knicks, we didn't like the Lakers, but Kobe I felt like was a great athlete, basketball player, and what he did for the game, I think I really appreciate it. And then I think I like Kobe more after what he did after the game, like being able
And
to
you're not
help
going to be the only one
people.
that said that, man. I mean, the dude won a
Yeah,
Grammy. I mean, it wasn't
yeah,
from playing basketball either. So he actually made a life. His post career arguably was as great as his pre basketball, his basketball career, man. And so arguably, he's a goat in two aspects, in two regards.
yeah. You're right. I mean, it's crazy. And I heard he was sponsoring the WNBA at one point in time, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know if he was sponsoring it, man, but I know that he had a lot of ties with it, right? With his daughter growing up and,
Yep.
getting more involved in competitive basketball. And she was a little beast herself. I think the girl dad movement and, girls power, all that stuff kind of came, hand in hand with that.
Wow. All right. So for the people that are following me on Instagram, and I'm just going to go back and forth again. For the people that follow me on Instagram, make sure you click the link in the bio and join us on the YouTube show. And shout out to the people who actually are following me on the YouTube show. Feel free to talk, ask questions through the course of the show, interact with us as well. To me, it's very important. I know maybe this show may be a little darker than maybe normal because a lot of times we're a little bit lighter. But because it's one day after the passing, I mean, technically 1 day in a year from the passing of our brother Kobe Bryant, right? We got a chance to see Kobe Bryant from 18 years old develop to become the man that he is. And I think that's probably one of the things that made me grow to like him, because in the beginning he was kind of cocky. You remember playing like thinking about remember the game he played Jordan? They went one-on-one and he was thinking like, I'm going to take this guy. And then now, and then like to see him grow to become a man, to become a better person. He still was cocky. Don't get it twisted. But, I think if you feel like you're the GOAT, you kind of have to be, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I remember watching a show. I was watching a game yesterday, and I heard Dominique Wilkins, right? Dominique Wilkins. I was watching a Hogs game, and he talked about Kobe Bryant being one of the last Mohicans, right? So he was one of the last old school, new school players that was in the game, and he played it that raw, uncut, didn't take too much time off. I mean, do you see the kind of pain the guy endured, throughout his career? Dude broke a finger and popped it back into place and kept playing. And so for me, it's like, I mean, how do you negate that? To me, he's the best player of all time, and a lot of players in the NBA will say that that's their Jordan, right?
Yeah,
they grew
I
up
agree.
watching him, so that's their Jordan.
Yeah.
And I see that question there, and I'll go ahead and answer it real quick. So I have two favorite moments. So the reason why I started collecting Kobe was because he won the slam dunk contest, right? So back when I was growing up, that was the that was everything, back in the mid '90s, is the slam dunk contest. And so by him winning the slam dunk contest, it kind of solidified him as a rookie, because a lot of people knew him as this arrogant kid who was built a little bit like MJ. He was going to be the next passing of the torch. And so for me, that's kind of what got me in tune to him and started following him throughout his career. The next favorite memory of mine, as you know, my tag everywhere is Kobe Collector 81. So because, of his 81-point performance, which is probably the greatest shooting performance that we'll ever see ever in the NBA, hopefully, maybe, there's a lot of good players out there still. So his 81-point performance, I mean, for me, that really solidified his place in history and his scoring prowess and presence in the game. So 81 points for me is my second memory there that I have of him.
Wow. Yeah, the 81-point game was crazy. I actually didn't get a chance to watch that game. It was more so I just heard about it, and I'm thinking to myself, like, he scored 81 points. It's crazy. Like, what they did, like, you don't hear about. I mean, stuff like that doesn't happen like that.
But his 81 points, they say that the 62 points in 3 quarters was actually better than the 81 points that he scored. So, I mean,
I can believe that.
He was on a little tear there.
Yeah, see, what was crazy is during the Kobe Bryant, probably in his prime phase, I was a Tracy McGrady fan. So what's crazy about that is I didn't even know.
Hood hopper, man. Hey, why are you telling the whole world you're a hood hopper?
No. Don't get it twisted. See, like, all right. So after the Bulls went on their run, we sucked for a while, and I had to kind of like, I didn't really like any other team. I just like players. And I think a lot of people, as a collector or somebody who's in the sports, we just have players we really like, And I gravitated towards Tracy McGrady, Penny Hardaway, Shaquille O'Neal. And those were the guys that I really liked in the hobby. Well, not necessarily in the hobby, but I just enjoyed watching them play. And Tracy McGrady, I coveted him a whole lot. He just was a two-way player. He was exciting to watch. So that was my guy during that period of time. But, so I never really was big on Kobe like that. But I did want to talk about Kobe because I think what he did and brought to the table was really positive. And I wanted to talk to you about your collection. Like, I know you talked about a little bit before in the past about how you got into the collection. But, man, why don't you talk about some of the things that you used to own?
Oh, man. Why you want to take me
down memory lane, man? I want you to go down memory lane, man, with Kobe. Like, talk about some of the stuff. Like, well, all right, so check this out. Lewis said he sold his Topps refractor for $5,400 1 week before he passed. And I'm so sorry about that. I wish I bought it.
So I didn't have a refractor. So that was the one card. I mean, for every true Kobe fan, you have to have a refractor in your collection, right? Else you can't call yourself a Kobe fan, right? So for me, that was one of the cards that I was always like, I'll get that later. Like, it'll come back around. I'll get it later, right? So it was always at grass when I was real deep in Kobe at the time. I mean, I could pick up his refractor for like $800 to $1,000. And so for me, I could have got it at any time, right? So I was actually concentrating on every other thing, and then was gonna circle back, to that. Well, you hit me up all the
Yep.
time, right? So you tell me, hey man, look, this car just went up on Golden, right? This car just went up on auction,
Yeah.
and it went for
Just tell us your favorite
$350,000,
three
right?
cars you used to own. How about that? Tell us your favorite three cars you used to
So
own. How about that?
my favorite three cars that I had in my hands, man, was a Titleist Exquisite out of three, right? I think it was out of 0405, so Exquisite Auto out of three. The other one I had was 0405 Kobe numbers piece out of eight, and then third for me, I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard to say exactly what my number three was, but them were the two that really stick out off the
Yeah.
top of my head. I also had an 0405 Kobe jersey auto out of five too. So a lot of these cars that I'm throwing out there were pretty. They're pretty good
And
cars nowadays, man.
and many of the new people that are watching and listening, you might not even have a clue about what he's talking about. Some of the stuff you'll never see.
Yeah. I
You'll
mean, and it's funny though.
you'll
Every
never
time
see
you
it.
ask me, "Hey, do you know anything about this card?" and I
Yeah.
show him a picture because I have a photo bucket full of my collection and everything I used to have. So he'll
Crazy.
tell me, "Hey, this numbers piece just went up on Golden Auctions. It went for 350,000. It was number 4 of 8." I was like, "Oh yeah, here look, here goes the 2 of 8. With the 3-color patch in perfect
Yeah.
condition. Here you go." And then you'll send me, "Hey man, look at this card," and I'm like, "Look, I have one just like it. Here you go, logo mans, numbers pieces. It was just you name it. That collection
Yeah.
was pretty sick." I think my most memorable part of my collection though was when I went after Exquisite in 0708, right, or 0607. My goal was to get as many of the base because those are numbered out of 225. So
Hmm.
my goal was to get as many of the base, as many as the golds, as many as the jerseys, and as many of the patches that I could get, right? So I ended up getting 85 of the 225 exquisite base cards of that year, right? I ended up getting like 15 of the golds. I got like 12 of the jerseys, and I had 4 of the patch out of 10, 4 of them out of that set. So for me, I was paying whatever it cost, I was paying it, right?
Hmm.
It kind of made me feel like Exquisite 613. I don't know if you know of him, but he
Yeah.
was the exquisite guy. If a card came up that he
He had
wanted,
it.
he
Yeah.
was gonna buy it. So I mean, there was a card at that time. It was a 0304 jersey card out of 75. And we're talking about when this guy, I think he was doing the same thing with those cards. And every time one came to auction, he would buy it, right? We're talking about $5,000-$6,000 for a jersey card, 0304 exquisite, right? And if you had to like back channel some way to get one because if it went to auction on eBay, he was winning it. And that was at the time when you could see the whole name of the people who were winning cards on eBay, man.
Right.
So um, I've seen a lot of my collection piecemealed off. A lot of it went to Exquisite Collector. Shout out to Exquisite Collector. He tells me to this day he has a pile of Kobe's for me sitting down on his desk collecting dust that when I'm ready for him, that he'll ship them back to me, man. So I'm gonna take him
That's
up
so
on that
nice.
eventually.
I know that's right. All right, so 30 DMV, because I do want to answer some of the questions out here. 30 DMV says, do you guys think it's wrong to make moves right around the death, or should you wait X amount of days like Kobe Collector? Would you be comfortable selling some of your old collection the week he died? You want to answer that?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man, and this is probably because we keep it real and uncut here, man. One of my most not proud moments, right? But it was something that happened at that time around his death, man. It's not one of my proud moments, but I actually sold a card to a guy, you know, the day before he died, and the day after he died, I hit him up and I'm like, "Hey, man, I can't sell this card, man. I'll pay you whatever you double what you pay for it, but I can't sell you this card, man." And honestly, I went on eBay and I took down every card that I had of Kobe right before his death, and I took down everything. I bought that card back from him for double. I mean, he wasn't too happy about it, but I mean, I gave him back his money plus some, and I
Mhm.
took everything down after he died, man. So for me, um, I don't know. I just didn't feel right. I mean, it was blood money at that time. A lot of people did capitalize on the death. I mean, a
Mhm.
couple months after, you could still make a pretty good coin, and they came down a little bit, but they're gonna go right back up
Correct.
here with the Hall of Fame and the ceremony. But for me, I refrained from selling Kobe around the time of his death.
Okay. So this is real interesting, this question, because this actually pivots me to what I wanted to talk about on the show anyway. So I'm gonna answer it too by saying that I don't really think it matters. I mean, I'm not. I don't think it
I
being
had an
and
emotional connection.
you can, and I get that. So I'm gonna be logical here, and I'm gonna say that you know supply and demand. And it's not saying I'm not saying this. At the end of the day, you got if you want to put a day on it, say, hey, look, you're not gonna sell anything for a day. If you want to wait a day, whatever, you can say that right now. People are still emotional about Kobe Bryant.
Yeah,
So it doesn't matter if it's like, and it goes back to what I said. It goes back to what I said. With Vanessa is like she's still grieving to this day, and
she's gonna continue to
she's
grieve.
still. And the thing and Kobe Bryant's still in her face. We're still talking about Kobe Bryant right now, and we're probably talking about him for the next decade, because he'll be immortalized as one of those guys that's, he's our GOAT. I mean, he's our and I ain't gonna say living legend, but he's a legend that we don't have anymore. We've had a lot of
Yeah.
living legends. We're familiar with that in the hobby, and which is why I wanted to kind of talk about this with. All right, so with the passing of Kobe Bryant, I did want to say this.
But
We were Go ahead.
let me stop you real quick. So
Go ahead.
it's I mean, we live in a hypocritical society, right? So I mean, it might have been a little different because of the character at play or the player at play. But I mean, look at Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron just passed, and you see everybody unloading a lot of Hank Aaron.
Thanks, Travis.
Um, and it's one of those things where um they're capitalizing on him. I remember growing up in the hobby, it was always like, man, let one of these young prospects die in baseball, and their autos are going to go through the roof. You're going to be able to sell them for $1,000 because they're
Yeah.
never ever going to sign again. So that was always, some of the stigmas that came in in the hobby, that let something happen tragic to a player, let something happen and they die, and the hobby capitalizes on it. I mean, that's just
Right.
like you said, supply and demand. But for some reason, with Kobe, it kind of hit a little different, right?
Mm,
For some reason, it hit a lot different because there's been a lot of people that died and people capitalized. It's just for him, I
right.
guess it was just the suddenness of it all. Because nobody expected this dude to die. I mean, I think he was 40 years old. I
Yeah.
mean, nobody expected the dude to die that young. I
Nope.
mean, so I guess it just hit a little different, man. But honestly, growing up in the hobby, that was always one of the things that if something tragic happened, you sell, capitalize. I mean,
You're
that's
absolutely
the
right.
name of the game.
So, like, when the soccer player, he was it Pelly, whatever. I'm not big on
Hmm.
soccer, but he passed, and I've seen all his cards pop up on eBay for crazy
Yeah.
numbers. So going back to 30 DMV, it doesn't matter unless somebody decides to put a restraint on how what you can and can't sell. And I want to say did eBay pull reselling? No, it might have been StockX might have pulled reselling Kobe Bryant shoes, and for a while Nike was not selling any Kobe Bryant shoes, and they wanted to wait for
Or
Vanessa
their
to get
jerseys.
okay. Correct. So out of respect for Vanessa, they gave her the keys to the city to say whether or not. And I'm glad she decided to share Kobe with us. For the people that didn't get a chance to get a jersey or want to buy some gym shoes or favorite sneakers. So which pivots us to what I wanted to talk about. I know the hobby was on a kind of a tear before Kobe had died. I think we were starting to kind of see the tunnel a little bit, like, because I want to say, what was it around? What was it? December Prism basketball came out, right? Around Zion didn't come out to start playing until February, right? So probably like a couple weeks before Kobe Bryant's death. All right, so here's my hindsight. What I'm thinking. So and if you guys follow me, and I think you might know where I'm going with this, is here's my question to you guys that are listening and to you, Kobe Collector. Did Kobe Bryant's death jumpstart the industry to where we are now for vintage basketball?
No, I think what the jump started the basketball scene was like the Last Dance, right? So I have a different perspective on that. I think he just grew his stuff that actually skyrocketed, because I don't think I remember seeing LeBron stuff going up at the same rate that he was going up at the time of his death. But I do remember the hobby just catapulting with Michael Jordan's Say the Last Dance.
Well, I think after Kobe Bryant's passing, I want to say the hobby with PSA 10s tops base cards, right? I got up to like $2,500, I think, after
Yep.
probably like a couple days after he passed. It was right there. And I don't remember what tops LeBron James were selling for, but I mean, if you guys are listening, if you want to chime in and tell us, feel free. I don't remember what the market was, but I felt like Kobe Bryant's passing jumpstart the industry to where we started to pay attention to the people like the Bob Cousy's, the Wilt Chamberlains, the Julius Erving's rookie cards, and now we're dealing with Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. Because as I could recall, last year you could have probably bought a PSA 9 Larry Bird and Magic Johnson rookie card for under $20,000, and now I think they're leading towards to the higher $50,000 to $100,000 range, maybe even more. Because of the PSA 10 selling for $720,000 this past week. So I was just trying to figure an entire connection between, in my mind, I'm wondering, is there a connection between Kobe Bryant's passing as relative to the hobby and us saying, okay, well, if Zion, Luka, and everybody else is selling for X amount of money, and Kobe's going up, should everything else go up?
No, I mean there's a lot of, it's like a perfect storm, right? People got bored. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't go outside, right? They got to concentrate on the bubble. You had Save the Last Dance. You had a lot of things happening at one time. You had a nation that was infused by a stimulus, and they had a lot of discretionary income that they could spend now. So I think it was just a perfect storm of a lot of different things that were happening at the same time that helped the hobby out to where it is today. And then as you see it grow, now you see these big businesses coming in, buying up all these cards, selling, the shares of cards. And, we're seeing what the hobby is going to look like in the future now. I mean, you saw this digital card, and I don't know why, and I don't know how true the story is, but you see that digital card sold for $100,000. I mean, I think striving for tens was here. He was like, I got this picture of this card. I'll sell you for $5,000, because I mean it's a digital card,
That's
and,
correct.
and it's one of those things where, man, where are we going in the hobby? I don't think we a ceiling or a bubbles burst. I am a little disappointed with what Zion is selling for right now, but because he's putting up numbers, right? I'm disappointed in what Trey Young's doing right now, but he's putting up numbers, right? So there's a lot of things that are scratching, like head scratching things that I don't understand. But if they keep on putting up the numbers that they're doing, I think they'll be okay. But I think it was just a perfect storm to get back to what you were saying.
Okay, so I mean, to piggyback off of what you're talking about in terms of what the hobby's pivoting right now, and I think that as the people and everybody that's listening, as we continue to, because at this point, the car market is like the stock market, right? It's so volatile at this point, at this moment. Like literally, your favorite player puts up 40 points. Now he's 20, 30% more than what he was before he started playing. Maybe you feel higher.
No, but I'm saying it's not the case with Trey Young right now, right? And I don't know if it's because his prices were so inflated where they had to level set a little bit. But I mean, the dude put up 38, he put up 40, then he put up 38 again. I mean, but his prices aren't reflecting that right now.
What I think is happening in the hobby is I think a lot of people are pivoting from certain players and focusing on the vintage players, and that's why like you see posts for the Larry Bird Magic Johnson rookie card. You're seeing people want Topps Chrome LeBrons. We're going back into that. And I've had this conversation with a couple other people through the course of this week. And we're pivoting right now. The whole industry is really pivoting. And we're going to see it. If you're in Dallas this weekend, pay attention to what people are buying, because the reality is we're seeing people pivot from the regular modern cars, superstars, because they're not proven. And they're pivoting over to vintage proven people, because the reality is it's becoming more scarce, because there's so many people coming into the hobby, and we're buying Michael Jordan. And I'm with Gary V. We've had this conversation. I've had this conversation several times, and I think even with you, Michael Jordan PSA 10 rookie card will probably get to $500,000. I don't know if it gets to $1 million anytime soon. I mean, maybe in the future. I think the BGS 10 can be an easy $1 million. I think the PSA 10 gets to $500,000, and I think the market is reset. And we're going to see a lot of things happen in the vintage world. So because the hobby is pivoting, everybody's like, I'm selling everything and I'm buying this. And that's exactly what's going on.
But the other thing too is there's season changes too, and I've already started to see a lot of money getting dumped into baseball, right? So
Correct.
There's a lot of that going on right now too. So there's only so much money right now in the hobby to sustain a certain ecosystem, So that same money that's being bought or being dumped into all the prospects in basketball, we've already kind of seen half a season already, so we already seen what they're going to do or what they're about. The next jump that we're going to see with basketball is going to be in the playoffs, right? In my opinion,
I agree.
It's going to be in the playoffs. And so a lot of that money is pivoting towards, Super Bowl people, right? Who are you going to go with? You're going to go with Brady, you're going to go with Mahomes. And then it's also pivoting.
It's great for the hobby. It's great. I love that aspect of the hobby. We got the current GOAT and the future GOAT going back and forth, and I love it. But go ahead.
No, and then you see it pivoting to baseball, right? I've seen all-time high sales for Juan Soto, right? So if you're trying to pick up Juan Soto, you're late, right? Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that Robert, right? You're going to start seeing an uptick in Robert. We've seen an uptick in Bo Bichette. We've seen an uptick in Acuna already, which he's really low still. He's still a buy for anybody that can get your hands on some nice stuff. He's still a really low, and he's going to catapult once the season starts. Then you have Tatis. And then you have Jordan, who's coming around the back end. I've already seen a 20 to 30% hike in his prices since the last time we talked. So baseball as a whole, and we're not even talking about the prospects from Chrome that people are dumping a lot of money in. We haven't even talked about Jason Dominguez, who once minor league system comes back around, we might see a little more hype behind him. We're not even talking about those guys yet, and they're still starting to boost up those sales as well. So, I mean, it's going to be exciting these next couple months to see where everything goes. We're going to have a better idea of the layout of the NBA and to see where those sales go. But I think you're right. I mean, we got a lot of important events that are coming up that are going to shape our hobby for the future.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so we got to address the fans. Mick Croyo Fam 5. He said he went to school and knew Kobe Bryant since he moved here in 7th grade. He was a better dude than was given credit for, and the world was getting to know him. And I want to say, brother, that was really dope to be able to meet that guy on an intimate level. So I think it's pretty cool. He says a dope story. He said we would sit in class and he would practice his autograph all the time. That's funny.
That's like something I would do, man. I practice my autograph all the time.
So
it ain't gonna be working. It ain't gonna be worth anything.
Here's my question.
The same mindset, mama mentality, baby.
I want to say so did he put the 8 on? Did he sign with the Kobe? Did he had 8 on it? What was
33 though? He was 33.
Yeah, I know he was 33. So I guess what made him decide to be 8? Did you know that? You know that story?
I don't know the story behind the 8, man, but I knew why he was 33.
Why was he 33? What was he?
Kareem? No, it was Kareem. Yeah.
He was 33 in high school, right? We remember that. Okay. So, all right. So it was because of Kareem. So he already knew he was going to be a Laker.
Oh, yeah. He knew it. It was his favorite team.
That's so dope. That's so dope, man. Yeah, I love I love the positivity that Kobe Bryant was really speaking on in his later years in life. And maybe I was too blind to see. I didn't know him on an intimate level like some of you guys on the chat that know him on an intimate level. And I really didn't follow him, like I said, because I was a Bulls fan. And I didn't like Kobe Bryant until my later years. And his later years, and I started seeing him as more of an individual. And I started seeing some of the things he was doing. And when I read some of the things that he was working on, I started to respect him a little differently. And I don't know, I guess, sometimes it takes me a while to realize you're a fan. You ever have that moment where you just kind of like realize I'm a fan of somebody? And I always thought Kobe was really good. But I just wasn't a super fan of that. But
I like going through the Olympics, right? And you had a young Kyrie Irving. That Kobe growing up, he would always want to play people one-on-one. That was his biggest thing. Let's go one-on-one.
Super fast.
Right? And he was actually he was at the Olympics, right, when they were practicing and scrimmaging with each other. And I remember hearing a story about Kyrie Irving walking up to him and telling him, "Let's play one-on-one." He was like, "Man, you don't have enough rings, right? You don't have enough rings to play me one-on-one. You haven't been in the season long enough. Go get you a ring, right? And then once you get you a ring, we can play for $35,000. So they were going to play for $35,000, man. But he said, you're not on my level to play one-on-one yet. So once you get there, right? But that's his way to pass the torch, right? Or else everybody would walk up to him wanting to play on one-on-one. And I've said it before on this show is I want them to release the scrimmages and the one-on-one games that those guys did at the Olympics, right? There's a reason why LeBron James came out of those Olympics saying Kobe was a man, right? Because we're talking about the prime of Kobe Bryant, right? We're talking about right after he just put up 81 points. And so you remember in that Olympics, you had Wade, you had LeBron, you had Carmelo, you had Durant, you had all these guys on that one team, right? So Dream Team 2, right? So to me, I think he bought all them dudes up, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why they pay so much homage to him because of what he did at those Olympics, right? And I think I was watching another because I watch a lot of stuff. Every time Kobe's interviews or something comes up, I sit there and I watch them. And there was another one. I think he was talking to I forget which show he was on, but they were saying, Jordan said, you weren't on his level. He's the GOAT or whatever. And he goes, man, look, y'all might not be able to talk to Jordan like I can talk to Jordan, but I just give him a look and I say, man, we're going to put your 92 against my 02. We're going to see who wins, right? So that's the conversations that those guys used to have. And I mean, honestly, it'd be pretty interesting to watch, I'd pay to watch that, man. I think it'd be dope as heck.
All right, so we got some good, another facts. It seemed like his favorite player was Mike D'Antoni, which was 8 in Italy, and so that's why he wore 8.
Yeah, that's dope.
That sounds pretty cool. It sounds pretty reasonable to me. And also, we got Lewis also talking about, let's see, with Kobe's passing, he's received tons of 90s and early 2000 Kobe's, Jordans, Carter, Dirk, Iverson rookies, and inserts. I would bet those were the golden years, man. That was the golden years of basketball. But I don't want to take anything from the new talented NBA. I think we're in a really talented mode right now. NBA has a lot of talent.
Yeah, man. But I mean, it's sad to see that. I mean, you have LeBron. What is he in his 19th season, 20th season? Yeah, playing like he's 20. But he's only gonna have like 2-3 years left. So obviously, we need someone to jump up and take the torch. I mean, you have Giannis, you have Luka, you have these guys that are kind of destined to take that that next step. But I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever see another Kobe, man. I don't know if we'll see another LeBron, man. But there's a lot of really talented people out there.
There are. We what's crazy? I think somebody said it recently. Who's next? Who is next? Who is the next big thing in the NBA right now? Like literally, have we seen it yet?
I don't know. I mean, I like guys like John Morant, right? John Morant is exciting, right? Correct. He reminds me a lot of of Iverson, right? Just relentless
Correct.
to the hoop, and I think he's a mix between Wade and Iverson. I think he just needs to get his shot a little better. But as far as driving to the hole, facilitating, being an explosive guy, I really like watching him play, man. He's really athletic. But can I sit here and say he's the next LeBron? He's the next Kobe? I really can't say that. But, I mean, I do enjoy watching him.
Right. All right. So for the people on my Instagram, click the link in the bio and you can join us on the podcast. All right. So check this out. This guy has all the facts, man. Shout out to
I like this guy.
Royal Fam
Man.
5. He has all
hit
the facts.
Hit me up on Instagram, man. I want to follow you, man. Whoever you are, hit me
Yeah,
up
he
on
says-
Instagram, man. I
He
want to
says,
follow you.
ask Jerry Stackhouse about 11th grade Bean at Sixers practice in 95. We were at St. Joe's University, and Jerry and Bean played one-on-one, and Bean whooped him 11-2. Jerry was a rookie and got trashed.
Hey, but Jerry was good in his own respect,
Jerry
man.
Stackhouse
Jerry was no slouch.
Jerry had a good run, man. I mean, he won a dunking contest. Didn't he win a dunking contest? Or I think he was in it. I felt like he was in it though, but you know what? I think he was in it. He didn't win during the Kobe years because Kobe won it. Did Kobe win back to back, or he just won once?
Yeah.
He only did it once.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, it's so wild. It's been a long time since I've got a chance to watch that. I may have to go to NBA TV and pull up the slam dunk competition for when Kobe won. Vince Carter years, definitely amazing. So, we only got a few minutes left on the show, guys. So feel free to ask any other questions that you may have. I know we got on a little late, but we're going to try to answer some questions. And for the people that are joining us on both platforms, Instagram and YouTube, we will be at the Dallas show. Feel free to look for the Prism God poster. It'll be in, I ain't gonna say it'll be in the air, but you just look for the Prism God sign. You'll see this guy right there, Kobe Collector, and you see myself. We'll have shirts, we'll have hoodies.
We'll have masks on though, man. You're not gonna be able to see our face, man.
But we'll have the shirts on. Well, actually, I'm gonna have my new Prism God, the Prism God U hoodie. We'll have that on. We'll be selling those at the show, and we'll have some t-shirts as well and stickers. We're giving them away. Feel free to join us, have fun with us, hang out with us, chop it up. Let's see, somebody just tried to join my chat. I don't know who Padded Warrior is. He tried to join me on Instagram. I'm like, I don't know who that is. I have to go back and chat. But
yeah, but I want that guy. What's his name? McRoyal
Fam.
Man, I want to follow. I want to follow, and I'm gonna follow you on Instagram, man. I think you hit us with some facts. I like that. I like that gem that you get. Oh man, look at that. I like that gem you gave us about Jerry Stackhouse, man. And like I said, man, that's the only thing you ever used to hear about Bean, man. He want to play one-on-one against everybody, right?
Yes, sir.
And I think I was hearing about when he came into the league in '96, he was scrimmaging. He was playing one-on-one against everybody in the gym, and he was getting beat, right, by all these vets. He said, but that first month in, that's all it took. He was like a Super Saiyan or something, because what didn't kill him made him stronger, man, but he learned. He steal their moves. And then he use them against them, man. So I know a lot of stories, man, where he wanted to play one-on-one against everybody.
Yep, you're absolutely right. So I think the section we will be in is like F3. So we'll be probably when you first come in towards the back, and you'll be able to come check us out, come talk to us. Take photos if you want to take photos.
Did we get a corner? Did we get a corner spot this time or no?
I definitely want to say we got a corner spot. I think so. If not, we'll be negotiating. I'll be negotiating tomorrow to try to get us a better spot if we don't get a good spot. So
I mean, last time you put us behind in the middle, on the side, man, we couldn't get through nothing. What is that, man?
Jason Tatum. I got Jason Tatum's gonna be on the table. We got Josh Jackson's bringing the Josh Jacksons out. I'm bringing the infamous Kobe Mojo. It'll be on the table. We got Ja's going to be at the table. Make sure you guys come check us out. Let's see. I'll bring a little stack right here. Got a little stack of cards. We're going to kind of give you a little light preview of some of the stuff we're going to have on the table. There you go. PSA 10 just sold for $740. I'm sorry, $740,000. My apologies. Gonna have some little bit of LeBron James. This is the silver one. We're even gonna have a couple more goats on the table. Look at that. James Harden's gonna be on the table. We're gonna have everything on the table. So feel free to come by and check us out. We're live from Investor Card. I just wanted to do that.
Hey man, hey, look, to everybody out there watching, to tuning in, hey man, we're just like you see us right here on this show. It's the same way we are in person, man. We're not bougie. Yep. We don't act like we're better than nobody.
Nope.
You come up and have a conversation with us, man. And let everybody know. I will be taking submissions at the show, but save them till Sunday. I've already had a couple people hit me up about that. Let's try to wait a little bit till Sunday for you to give me some cards, so I don't get them mixed in with all of PrizmGawds' richness over there. Nah, man, but come. Hey, man, we'll answer any questions that you guys have. Like I said, as personable as you see us here, we keep it real. This is exactly who we are. So feel free to come up and say hello. Like you said, we'll have T-shirts, we'll have hoodies. We'll have all kinds of merch.
We'll have all
available. And hey, we're here to buy your cards. We're here to sell your cards, and we're here to trade with you if you want to.
We'll be buying, we'll be selling, we'll be trading, we'll be doing all that. So feel free to come check us out in Dallas, Texas. We'll be there I'll be there tomorrow. My flight's at
I'll be there Friday to Sunday.
I'll be there. I'll be at every trade night. Just send me a message, DM me, let me know what's going on. If you need me to retweet it, that's fine too. And it's 9 o'clock on the head. I know it's a little early, but I'm gonna say rest in peace again to Kobe Bryant and the rest of the people that were on the plane. I don't remember the names of everybody on the plane, but Gigi, I don't know the rest of the people on the plane, but rest in peace everybody that was again.
I look at David. Hey, it's a 10. It's a 10.
Hey, David, shout out to David. David's in the building. He done joined PrizmGawds. Oh my gosh!
Hey,
I guess
we wouldn't do it right if we go. What up?
Right.
Hey man, if y'all not following him, man, he's Black Label Brace on Facebook, man. Go ahead and hit him up, man. One of the good guys in the hobby, man, and really good guy to know for sure. He'll be at the show too, buying up everything.
Yeah, that's correct. So feel free to come hot politic with us, guys, and ask any questions. Like everything he said, I'm just pretty much reiterating the exact same thing you said. You guys got it. Y'all got it, man. So without further ado, hold on, let me see. You guys gonna go live from the show. Look forward to it, man. People have been asking us to go live from the show. I don't know if we're gonna go live from that show. I think we'll go live from the Nationals. I think we'll for sure go. I think we'll go live from the Nationals. I think we go live because we filmed at the last Dallas show, and this show I wanted to kind of dedicate towards, just kind of like just working, just politic with you guys. And so if you guys are in the area, come talk to us and learn.
For sure, man.
And tell and somebody buy Kobe collector a microphone.
Oh man, hey man, hey, somebody tell this guy to send me the right league next time, man. Somebody hop in his chat and tell him to send me the right link, and then we'll be on the same page. Then I'm gonna keep taking being late, but I'm not gonna take it forever.
Rough, man. Rough.
Hey man, get out of here, man.
It's hard trying to find good help. That's all I'll say. No, I'm just kidding, man. But PrizmGawds TV. Go ahead.
No, I got a lot of work to do, man. I had a huge fire sale right before here, man. To try to get ready for the show.
I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning. I'm so sorry. I'm behind on everything, but I mean well. So I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm gonna get some rest tonight. I'm probably gonna play the game for a little bit, kind of put my mind at ease, relax a little bit. I might get a massage tomorrow. So I get this thing going. Gotta sell. I want to. You know what's crazy? We sell cards. Sell cards all day. You might as well just sell them at the show. Put them on the table. Somebody's already.
But you know what?
Now, just sell it now on the feed.
I'm gonna have some big boys, right? Not your big boys, man. You're gonna make mine look like little midgets in there, man. God dang.
What you mean?
Don't do it to me, man. I gotta go.
Man, look at that. Look at that.
Hey,
box.
let's open that live. Let's open that live at
I'm not.
the Dallas
No,
show.
this is my son's box, man. I can't do them like that. I
Well,
opened
we'll
up
open
one
up the
box
other one. You
myself.
had 3 boxes.
No, I had 2 boxes. I opened one.
Damn.
I already
John ain't
opened.
gonna mind. We'll find John another box.
You know how much the other box probably gonna cost me? It's gonna cost.
Hey, I don't care. It's gonna cost you. It's not gonna cost me.
All right, so yeah, we're looking at Will and Deal, guys. So hit us up. If you are following me on Instagram, you can tell me your Instagram, but I'm PrizmGawd on IG, and feel free to hit us up on the podcast every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Next week, our guest will be Mike Baker from NBA Diamond. He was going to talk to us about their company, what they do, how the grading process works. After that, we have Joseph Sappy, which I think will be on the week after that, and I think we have some other guests before then. So without further ado, I guess you want to tell them where they can find you at, what you got going on?
They got me, man. They got at Kobe Collector, at Kobe _collector _81 on Instagram. Also look me up at MC Subs if you need some grading help. Like I said, I'm here to help. There's a lot to go around for everybody. I don't think there's anybody that has a secret sauce to do this or that.
Nope.
But there's a lot of knowledgeable and good people out there that'll help you and assist you with getting your cards graded, man, because it's a very intimate process to go through that. And as long as you have someone that you can, trust, first and foremost with the hobby and the world that we live in, I think you do yourself a favor and a service to find someone that you can trust. So thank you for the platform. Thank you as always. I have fun doing this show each and every week. I don't care what we talk about. We can talk about socks, and I'm gonna be excited just like we're talking about Kobe today, man. So I do appreciate it, man. Honestly, we're getting bigger and better every day. And I really do enjoy all the feedback that we get after the shows, and let us know how much they appreciate it, man. So shout out to everybody watching, and if y'all guys want to come on, man, we always have a third spot here for you, man. So feel free to reach out to us as well. We might have to get David on here, man.
We literally, I'm okay with that. We got to get David on here. We'll get David on here at least once. He can say, "What up? What up? What up?"
Gotta work, man. Hey, man, but hey, I love you, man. Be easy, man. I'll see you real soon.
Love you too, man. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna see you like in a day. So you're right. You'll definitely see you in a day. So I'm tired, and we do this, guys, for you guys. And I'm tired, man. Golly, PrizmGawds,
here, man.
Be out. Yeah, I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna go eat, and I'm going to. Peace out.